Good morning, students. Today we are going to brush up the basics of pharmacokinetics, which already has been discussed in the classroom. Now, let us see this graph. This graph is showing you on the x-axis we can see the plasma drug concentration, while on the y-axis we have time. This graph, that is also a bell-shaped or an S-shaped curve, shows you the basics of the pharmacokinetics. As already discussed, pharmacokinetics was the kinetics of absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion. Now, this graph over here shows you this S-shaped curve shows that the first phase, this is the absorption phase. The second, the downward curve shows you the post-absorption phase, following which is the third is the elimination phase. So basically we can divide this curve into three phases, 1, 2 and 3. The first one is the absorption phase, second is the post-absorption phase and third is the elimination phase. Now, as these things have already been discussed and you might have also studied this. Now, this point, this where the concentration of the drug in plasma crosses the MEC, that is the minimum effective concentration, becomes the onset of action. This is the concentration for the drug to be effective. Now, the time to reach onset of action is called as the onset time. Move forward. When the concentration crosses this point, that is the MSC, that is maximum safe concentration, this becomes the Cmax, that is the maximum concentration that can be achieved in the plasma. The time corresponding to Cmax is called as the Tmax. Moving after this, the concentration now starts to decline in the plasma. This is called the post-absorption phase. After which the concentration again falls below the MEC. This is called as the elimination phase. Now the point that we have to understand is that the concentration which rises above the MSC, this is the toxic level, while the concentration which is below the MEC is the subtherapeutic level. While this region is the therapeutic range, which is important or which is effective for the action of the drug. Now, the time duration between the onset of action, that is the onset time, and this point which is the termination of action, is the duration of action. Okay, so let us quickly summarize the pharmacokinetic profile of a given drug. On the y-axis we have plasma drug concentration, on the x-axis we have time, a sigmoidal curve, a bell-shaped curve which shows you the absorption phase, post-absorption phase, elimination phase. Two dotted lines, two parallel lines. The first line, that is the maximum safe concentration. Second, minimum effective concentration. Again, maximum safe concentration, minimum effective concentration. The difference between MSC and MEC gives you the therapeutic range of the drug, in which we get the actual potential pharmacological benefits of the drug. This point is the onset of action, this is the termination of action. The difference between them is the duration of action. Cmax, maximum concentration. This is the Tmax, time required to achieve the Cmax. Now, this whole area, including this and this area, is called as the AUC. AUC is the area under the curve, which is the most important parameter to determine the bioavailability of a drug. Now, how can we determine the AUC? There are various methods which we will be studying later on. Basically, we can find out AUC by a simple graphical method, that is the trapezoidal method, in which we determine the area of all the trapezoids within this curve. Now, there are three basic parameters which we must understand. The three pharmacokinetic parameters which are the most important are AUC, second is Cmax, and third is Tmax. These are the three pharmacokinetic parameters for any given drug which can be determined using this graph. All the other parameters, let it be onset of action, duration of action, onset time, termination point, therapeutic range, MSC, MEC, toxic level, subtherapeutic level, all these parameters are the pharmacodynamic parameters. So this is a basic difference between the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic parameters. You can have a look at this graph once again, draw it, memorize it, revise it thoroughly. In case you have any problems, do ask me. For the next class or for the next video, we'll be discussing about Wagner-Nelson method, another very important topic. Till then, thank you all.